Let's speak now, though, to one of our comrades over in the European Union. Charles-Henri Gallois, president of Generation Frexit, is with us because he's going to talk to us about what's going on in France right now. Charles, a very good morning to you. Bonjour.
Good morning, Mike.
Thank you very much for joining us, and great to hear your voice. Very interesting things happening in France at the moment. First of all, tell us a little bit about the old coronavirus situation. How's the country dealing with it? How is the economy? What's going on?
I think you're very lucky to be outside the EU, because when you talk about the coronavirus crisis, I mean the European Union has a big responsibility. If you look, for example, at the vaccine rollout, which is a disaster.
Yeah.
I have seen this morning, for example, that Morocco, that has started only 3 weeks ago its vaccine rollout, is now has vaccinated more people in percentage of population than the European Union. So it's a total disaster. And why? It's because, during spring 2020, the states, the member states, were dealing directly with the labs, actually. And the CEO of Moderna, with French, has told that everything was on track. And then the European Union has wanted to take this issue, and it has been 3 months late. And that's why the European Union has not the jabs and cannot vaccinate it as fast as it should be. So it's a total disaster. And if you look even broadly, it's a disaster because of the European Union, because, we don't have enough beds healthcare. And the European Union, the European Commission, has told many times to the member state to reduce the healthcare beds, and we don't have enough beds to attend people. That's why you have to do curfew, you have to do lockdowns. So it's almost very linked, all the issue. Or if you talk about the relocations, all the medicine are produced in China or India, even the mask, we are so dependent on it. And it's because the European Union in its treaty has always favored free trade, even with countries that does not share the same, let's say, social or economic standards. And that's why you have relocation. So don't be mistaken, the EU has a huge responsibility within this crisis. And you're very lucky to be outside and to have very good vaccine rollout.
I think so, yeah. And so does this mean many people now are considering whether being in the EU is such a good idea?
Sure. I mean, it will definitely be a huge argument. Maybe it's the best advert for Frexit, as it's the best one for Brexit. I think this crisis has been managed terribly by the EU. So it's one more argument in favor of Frexit. And I think what we will have to do the math and to see what happens, it will definitely be in favor of Frexit. It's a bad, let's say, it's a bad moment, but it shows that the EU is not at all the vaccine, but it's a virus. So we have to struggle against this virus.
Yes, exactly right. And meanwhile, the election is not too far away next year, but Emmanuel Macron is looking a little bit shaky at the moment, isn't he?
The issue is he doesn't, has a big electoral basis, because even in 2017, he had only, if you looked at the people that could vote, he had only 18%, of the electorate, which is very tiny basis. But he was able to win because he faced Marine Le Pen in the second run, and against Marine Le Pen, almost everyone will win at the second run. So it's basically the issue of the French politics nowadays. It's Macron does not have a huge support, but if he will be able to face Marine Le Pen in 2022 at the second run, he may win, even if he is a minority in France. So it's like a blocked system, and I hope that we will deblock it. And what we are advocating for, it's to advocate for a French referendum on EU membership, the same as you did. And actually, we are pushing for it. We have launched a big platform for referendum, Frexit, and we hope that it will grow bigger and to offer it and to propose it to the candidate in the presidential election, the same as you had with Cameron. It was not even for Brexit, but for electoral purposes. he included it in its manifesto. So we are planning to do basically the same, and let's say the hope is that there will be a third force. Maybe it won't be a Frexit force, but they will include this referendum in their manifesto. And then if we get this referendum, I'm pretty sure that we will be able to win it.
Wow, that would be quite something, because without France and Britain, the European Union falls apart completely, doesn't it?
I think the euro currency will be definitely dead without France, which is the second biggest economy in it. Then the EU, maybe it can survive a few months, a few years, but I think definitely without France, which is one of the founder of the EU, and without the Great Britain, without the UK, and without France, the two main economies after Germany, I think the world project will be dead. And even geographically, France is at the center of it. I think if we are out, you will have the UK, you will have Switzerland, Norway, France, and so on. I think it will be dead. And basically, it's a great future, because don't be mistaken, you won't be isolated at all. It will be just like it was before. It means international cooperation instead of a supranational state that will decide for everything, even if you don't have common interest on one topic or another. And it's not a very healthy organization, and we can have healthy cooperation with free independent states.
Yes, I mean, I remember when it was just called the European Economic Community, and the idea was that, we would have a common bond of trade and of friendship, but that was as far as it went. We didn't all have to agree on everything. We didn't all have to have the same policy on everything, and we didn't all have to have terribly restrictive laws that governed the entire state of Europe.
Yeah, definitely. And you can have, a free trade area between countries such as the UK, France, or Germany that are quite close in terms of social, economic standards. But even within the EU, now with the Eastern countries, you have in Bulgaria, let's say the minimum income is 260 euro per month. So you cannot be in the same free trade area with countries that don't have the same standard living. So I think we should focus on international cooperation with countries that have basically the same standards, because it helps the economy. But if you do free trade with countries where the revenue is 100 or 200 euros per month, it will bring damage to your own workers. It's not a healthy system. So we should come back to that, I think.
Yes, I think so. And finally, Charles, what about the fishermen of Normandy? Because I'm told that they're not very happy with the way that the EU has kind of, in their words, given away the fishing back to Britain, and they may take their revenge on Macron as a result of that. What's their kind of feeling at the moment?
The issue is France, it's the main maritime domain in the world. So we have a fishing area. The issue is, as we are in the EU, we have also, as you had in the UK, all the fishing industry of other countries that now are fishing in our waters. Because if we were just in our waters, they would be able, to live and to do trade and to fish. The issue is that we have all the fishermen also, other European countries that comes in French waters. So basically, it's a very the domain is now tiny for both French fishermen and also the other one of the Europeans. That's the main issue. I think if France was independent, we could do exactly the same as you did. It's takes back of our water, and then to allow only French fishermen, or to have some agreement or some exchanges in some country, but on a one-to-one relationship. But now we face basically the same issue that you had. So for the French fishermen, definitely not a good deal as far as we are in the EU.
Great to talk to you, Charles. Thank you very much indeed. Charles-Henri Gallois, president of Generation Frexit. From talking to him, you would think that France is actually not far away from having a referendum, not far away, if they did have a referendum, from actually voting to leave the EU. And what would that mean for the EU? Some pretty bad news, you'd have to say. You only hear this kind of stuff here on talkRADIO. It's the home of common sense.